Why do they want to resuscitate this name?
It's interesting. It's like a story that's 30 years in the making, right? It was first Boston in the 70s, and then now it's going back to that name. A lot of people think the rebranding could be a precursor to something bigger, for instance, a spin-off. And we reported last week that in a global town hall, that idea was floated by some of the board members. So that is going to differentiate investment banking from all the other business, such as asset management, trading, private wealth, all of that. So it would be interesting what's next, but we wouldn't know until the strategic review is completed.
It's interesting, too. I mean, we know kind of some of the issues Credit Suisse is going through. We kind of know the storied history of First Boston. Anyone, of course, who followed finance back in the 80s knows they were kind of the kings of M&A. I am curious as to whether reviving a name like this is going to have enough cachet to be viable. Is there talent behind this now? Is there, I guess, a product behind this other than just the name that they're going to be able to sell?
Yeah, I think it definitely is a bit of a marketing campaign, right? You're changing the sentiment. You're bringing back something that used to be so amazing, used to be so New York, so American. Whether there are talent behind it, we've seen so many departures in Credit Suisse actually across the globe in the past couple of months. It's going to various places, Truist, BMO, all of these places. Yeah. Whether there is real talent, investment banking is all about talent. Whether there are talent behind the new First Boston, we shall see. But it would be interesting to see whether it can retain some of these talents, because the idea that was floated is that some of these senior deal makers could get an equity ownership of the new unit. So that could be an incentive.
Crystal, I want to go back in time to 17 years ago when they initially rebranded. Why did they drop First Boston in the first place?
It's one of those, you have to bring everyone together. You have to get everything under one umbrella. And the same way Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, it's now just Bank of America Corp. It's no longer.
Tell that to the private bank until the various other parts of the business that seem to permanently be still calling it that.
I mean, there is a lot of nostalgia with the First Boston name as well, and that's exactly what's happening here. Some people still identify as a First Boston employee, and I'm sure the older generation of the people who have, a longer career would have been very, very pleased with this outcome.
Well, don't forget, too, about that big sort of meshing of, Donaldson, Lufkin, Jarrett, DLJ. And I remember there was a lot of infighting over the leadership once that was sort of absorbed.
I forgot about that.
And my understanding is that the dropping of that name was to appease some of the new folks in at DLJ. I hope I didn't misstate that, but that's my recollection.